Hey hard healers, William here again. I just wanted to record this video today to say thank you again to everyone who has reached out to me following my last video. I really do appreciate all of the support and the kind words. It just gives me again the confirmation that I need to continue to do what I'm doing here and putting out these videos and writing all of the articles and stories and creating healing hearts. So if you took the time to reach out and if you watched that video, and I know it was very long, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So I wanted to sit down to record this video today, just basically because of the time of year that we are in. I am currently on holiday and I wasn't actually going to sit down to do any more of these while I was away, but I suppose it's raining quite heavily and there's not really much else to do, so I figured, well, I might as well make a productive use of my time, and hopefully this video will be of some use to whoever may watch it. What I wanted to touch on was the idea and associations many of us hold around the Christmas and New Year holiday period. It's generally, for a lot of us, it's a time when we have an extended period of work. Generally we'll spend that time with our families. We're often at home, we have a big family dinner, open our presents. It's a time of reunion and celebration of the family unit, I suppose, and it's probably one of the most important things about Christmas, I think, for a lot of people. And for a lot of people, it's also a time to de-stress after a long year of work. It's generally a time of indulgence and hedonism. We eat a lot of food and we drink a lot and we feel good and we feel merry and we're with the people we love, and generally for most it's all a very good and happy time. But of course Christmas isn't always like that for some people, and it isn't the same experience for everyone across the board. For people like myself, people who were or are currently abusers of drugs and alcohol, people who maybe aren't able to be with their family over this period, people who maybe live away from home, such as myself in Australia and many of my other friends, and people who might be watching this who are far away from their family and they're taken away from that normal Christmas experience. This time of year can be extremely challenging for a lot of people. It can take a massive toll on a person's mental health. There's an increased rise in suicide and other self-harming behaviours over this period. I'm not going to go into statistics with you. I think it's a commonly known thing around this time of year that people's mental health slowly deteriorates, particularly when they're isolated from their families, and especially given everything else that's going on. And it's often this isolation and separation and detachment from the usual experience we have from Christmas, spending our time with our families, that leads people such as myself who have struggled with substance abuse or anything in this regard to resorting back to these old negative behaviour patterns, these behaviours that we resort to make ourselves feel better, to soothe ourselves and comfort ourselves, these unhealthy ways of behaving and thinking that ultimately never really fix the problem underneath that's driving the behaviour to reach for these things outside of us to help make us feel better. And ultimately this self-soothing and this unhealthy behaviour is a vicious circle, because it just reinforces the initial feelings of loneliness and emptiness and whatever else you're feeling inside you're trying to medicate and soothe yourself with by taking something outside of you to make something inside of you feel whole. The life of an alcoholic or an addict or an abuser of drugs and alcohol is often a very lonely place to live in. Generally there's something deeply lacking within us, some deep grief or pain or inadequacy or trauma or something that has left a void inside of us that we can only fill by finding something outside of us. And if you're one of the people who are watching this video now and you're relating to anything that I'm saying here, or you're experiencing anything that I'm talking about here, then I just want you to take a moment to ask yourself, what is it that you're trying to fill inside of yourself by reaching for a bottle or reaching for a bag or reaching for whatever else it is that you normally reach for to make yourself feel better? What is it that you're really trying to fix by resorting to this behaviour? Because more often than not, when we're trapped in these negative behaviour cycles and ways of thinking, we don't realise ourselves that we're even doing this, and because we don't realise that we're doing this, we are powerless to be able to change or to modify our behaviour. One of the most important things I've learned throughout this journey of my own mental health recovery and this journey of healing and evolution and growth is that whatever answers you're looking for, whether it's at the bottom of a bottle of beer or at the bottom of a bag or whatever, wherever you're looking for it, you're not going to find the answer there. All the answers that you seek and that you need are already within you. They're within your heart and your soul and in your mind, and only by through really examining yourself and the behaviors and being mindful of when these behaviors start to surface, that is when you can take the power back for yourself, and that is when you can start to change. Generally, for most of us, we reach for these things because we're humans and we don't like to feel anything negative. We don't like to feel bad emotions. We don't like to feel lonely or sad. It's a normal thing. Nobody wants to experience that. But those feelings will always remain even after the high of the drugs and the alcohol or whatever else is gone. So if you're still watching, and again, if any of this is resonating, just take a couple of moments now or after this video and just really ask yourself, why do I continue to reach for these things whenever I feel lonely or feel sad or feel whatever else makes me feel unhappy or down? Why do I continually resort to these ways of being and ways of thinking whenever these feelings and thoughts arise? And ask yourself, is there another way? Is there something else that I could do right now instead of reaching for this? Once you have the answer to that, once you can really truthfully and sometimes painfully look at yourself and answer these questions honestly, that is when the journey of healing and change will occur. So anyway guys, thank you for watching. I guess just one final point I want to drive home is that, particularly for people from the UK and Northern Ireland and Ireland especially, it's commonplace for this kind of behaviour to occur over the Christmas and New Year period. It's commonplace for people to overindulge and live an even more hedonistic lifestyle, particularly in regards to, you know, the drugs and the alcohol. So I guess I just want to question these ways of thinking and these societally accepted ways of behaving during this particular period of time. I guess I just want people to take a moment to ask themselves and to reflect, why am I doing this? What is causing me to do this? Am I feeling better after it? Or is there another way? The power to change is in your hands, and if no one has told you this today, or maybe no one's ever told you this before in your life, you have the power within you to change, and I believe that you do, and I believe that everyone has the power to overcome the demons that they hold inside their hearts. So with that guys, I wish you all a happy new year. I hope it's safe. I hope everyone is surrounded by peace, love and joy, and I will speak to you soon.